Hi guys, happy new year to you all. Welcome back again to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make this backless gown with a cowl effect on the front and the back. So this is the material I make use of. This is duchess material. 3 years, you can make use of 2.5, you can make use of 3 years depending on the body size. So first of all, I'll be marking from shoulder to armhole, which is the chest line. Then from shoulder to waistline. Then from shoulder to hip line. When you get the hip line, then from shoulder to full length. So I will make the lines visible now. So after that, the next thing I'm going to mark is the shoulder line, which is shoulder to shoulder. I'll mark that on the chest line, then I'll mark that on the starting point, which is the shoulder. Though the style that we are making will not be needing shoulder or anything, but I'll just shoulder or neckline, but I'll just mark the basic neckline for now. So at the shoulder part, which is the armhole part, I came down by 1 inch to connect it to the neck width. So on the insert bust measurement, divide by 4, then I'll make the armhole curve. This is for the back, so I will make a front armhole curve. So this is what I'll be making use of for the front, though the back will not be having shoulder, armhole, all these things. So the next thing I'm going to mark is on the waistline. I'll be inserting waist measurements, divide by 4. Then on the hip line, I'll be inserting hip measurement, divide by 4 also. After which I will add my sewing allowance. Then I'm going to connect the dots. Please don't forget to add the allowance on the waist line and also on the chest line. So after connecting the dots this way, whatever I have on the hip line, I will insert that. So whatever I have here being the hip, I will insert it on the full length. So I'm going to connect the lines like this. So remember, this paper is on fold. I'll be using one to draft out the front, then one for the back. So I went ahead to cut it. It's on fold, that is, it's double. So after which I will mark the armhole, the waist. I'll indicate it on the other paper so that I will not get confused when I remove one. So I've removed the back pattern, so I will work on the front. So from the armhole, which is the chest line, I will be coming up by 2 inches depending on how high you want yours to be. As you can see on the picture, mine is a bit higher than the one I copied from. So if you want your own lower, you can make use of 1 inch here, because at the end of the day, the reason why it came up is I added, after slashing and spread, I added some inches to it. So just watch carefully, you understand all these things I'm explaining. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to slash here, which is the armhole line, also known as the chest line. So I'm going to make use of slash and spread. After slashing, I will go ahead and place another pepper under it. At this point, you can make use of masking tape or pin, but this is what I choose to make use of. This is the available one. So after slashing it, you add the inches that you want to spread it out with. So I spread it out with 2 inches. You can make use of 1 inch here. If you want it to be lower, you can make use of 1 inch. So after which, I use the gum to hold it down. So after this, the next thing I'm going to do now is to straighten here. So I'm going to straighten it this way. After which, I'm going to remeasure the armhole. It's giving me 5 inches. I'm okay with that. Then I'll go ahead and straighten here also. The next thing I'm going to do is to cut out the excess. So after that, this is what we have. So now I'm done with the front. I'm going to label it front. So let's work on the back pattern. So for the back, this is the back. For the back, I don't want my back to be exposed like that. So for this back, you determine where you want your opening to start. If you want your back to be more deeper than what I made for my client, you can go down more. But for this, I'm going down by 10 inches. So I went down by 10 inches. If you want it to be more revealing, you can make it 12 inches, 13 inches. So for this particular tutorial and for this particular dress that I made, I went down by 10 inches. So I'm going to cut this part out. So I'll be working with this part. So for this part also, I'm going to make use of slash and spread. So at this point, you can slash to meet waistline, and this slashing, you can make use of any division that you choose. Here I made some 2 inches and some 1.5. So just make your calculations to be accurate. So I just opened it in 4 places. Make sure that your opening is ending at the waistline. If not, it's going to show your undies. If you go beyond waistline, first it's not going to be tight on the waist and it's going to show your undies. So make sure that your slashing ends at the waistline. So at this point, I'm spreading them out. I will add another pepper. I added another pepper So you use your gum or your masking tape to hold each and every pieces down. So for the back, I'm adding 1.5 inch. I'm spacing them out by 1.5 inches. So you can space it out by 2 inches, 1 inch, depending on how fluffy and cowl effect you want. So for this my own, I'm spacing them out by 1.5 inches. So after spacing them out, this is what I have now. So for the back, you can cut it this way. It will give you a nice result. But for the back, I now remember that I'll be turning it up. I'll be turning the back. I don't want to use a bias to bias it. And this dress does not have a lining. So that is why I came up this way. This line that I came up with. You can come up with any inches so far that is going to serve you as your bias. So I will go ahead and cut it. Remember, the first line, which is the straight line, it's accurate. When you are cutting it the straight line, that means you are going to use another thing to turn the back. The reason why I went up like a V is because I want to use this cloth to turn it out. Don't worry, you are going to understand what I mean, because I'm going to repeat this on the front pattern. With the front pattern, you will understand what I mean. So this is what I have for the back. So this is the front. I've cut the front out, so let's work on the front again. This is what I mean by using the up part to turn the area that is supposed to be turned with a bias. So now I'm cutting out the pepper 1/2 inch below the armhole. So I'm flipping it this way. I'm going to mark exactly what I have here to this part. So at the end of the day, I will not be using any bias to hold it down, the upper part. I'll be using this particular material to hold the upper part, to turn the upper part. This is what I meant when I said that I'll be using this material to turn it out instead of using a bias. So this is how it's going to look like after everything. I hope you understand what I mean now. So this is the back. I made the down part a bit of a flare. Sorry, I did not show how I did that. So the next thing I'm cutting out is the stripe for the sleeve. I'm cutting out 1.5 inches, which at the end of the day I'm going to turn them out, and the length determine on what you minus from the shoulder. So from the shoulder to what you minus for the front, then from shoulder to what you minus at the back. So you are going to add 2 of them. That will give you what you insert as your stripe. Then don't forget to add your joining allowance, which we use to join the front and the back. it's in one straight line, no, but what you're going to use to attach it to the front and attach it to the back. So I'm going to turn it out this way. So this is the front. I'm going to flip it this way to turn it the armhole part. But before that, I'm going to open here a bit, then insert the stripe, then sew back. At this point, you can put your stripe this like this, then sew. But I'm going to open a bit of the chest line to insert it exactly on that tip side. I'm going to open a bit of the chest here that I'm pointing out now, so it will come out this way. So I will do the same thing on the other side. So this is how it's looking like. So I've done it on the both side. So after which I'm going to open it up this way. This is just for the front. So the next thing I'm going to do after is to join it to the back. So for the back, this is how the back is looking like. So I'm going to show you how you're going to insert it. So we are going to fold in this part. Remember, the V part of this back is not going to show at the end of the day because it's going to enter inside. We are going to use gum to hold it down. That is hemming gum. So you bring one of these stripe, you insert it inside. So if you finish, this is how it's going to look like. The next thing I'm going to do now is to join. So after that, I'm going to use hemming gum to hold this part down this way, so it will not need a biasing again. After which I'm going to join the front and back. Then after joining the front and back, I will go ahead and hem the down part. Just make sure that at the end of the day you use a hemming gum to secure the necessary places, which is the front. That thing that you use to turn out the front, you can use hemming gum to glue it, then use hemming gum on the back part also. So that is it. Please, if you find this tutorial helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment the area that you did not really understand. I can help you out on the comment section. See you on my next video. Thank you for watching.